Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Venitia and this is your timeless reading. So this reading is meant to find you when you are ready to listen to its message. So as always, you take what resonates and you drop the rest. It is as easy as that. So I'm going to work with several tarot and oracles. So we are going to start off with picking either the card that flips out, or I'm going to pick it up in the deck and we are going to see what is the topic of the day. I hope everyone is doing fine, so please do make yourself at peace and we are going to see what is up with your goals. So the woman with heart. So this could be of course about love, and we've got here, let's see, being careful about something as you go along. Okay, there is a situation here. You are moving on from a situation to another. You know, when one door closes, another is opening. It could be in job, you know, but it could also be in a situation where love is concerned. But there is a situation you are moving on and you are treading carefully here. You are watching your steps. Okay, one door is closing, another is opening up, and at the back we've got conciliation. So could be that someone is maybe coming back into your life with a proposition. Could be work, could be love, you know, but you want to know whether that is being an honest proposition, or because you know that this person has not necessarily been fair. So, you know, bitten once, twice shy. You know, you're being very careful about that person. Can I trust that person? You know, has this person changed? Because that person told me, oh yeah, I changed so much, I've been working on myself or something. And you're not the kind to be bitter about things, but you are no fool. Okay, so you're being very vigilant here, very careful with that person. So we are going to take 3 cards with my tarot here, and I'm first going to cut the deck to see, you know, where it's at. Okay, so the title is choices. Okay, could be in choice in love, but this is the choice in the path in life that we are having, and we've got the Chariot. So yeah, this could be someone who is coming back here, and that person knows how to talk. Okay, this is a person who knows you deeply, knows your energy, knows what you like to hear. So you have to be thinking about the fact that this person knows how to talk to you in order to get you back. And you are like, I want to protect my energy because I don't want to be derailed again by that person. That person seems to be showing up, and that person could have a lot of charisma, you know, and is, you know, sending you, you know, all kinds of words in your direction that are very pleasant. But that person knows how to attract your energy, your attention. So yeah, this person could be a player and you know that. Okay, let's see. So if you are being careful with that person and you are, you know, going on that path, being very careful, it's not because you're being paranoid. It's because you know the person. And yes, sure, we can work on ourselves and change our ways, but you're not 100% that sure that this person has really worked on themselves. Okay, so could be a man, could be a woman, you know, this is a general reading, so reverse the energies if need be. Okay. Sorry. So where you're at right now. Okay, we've got the Fool, so a brand new cycle that's coming in. Funnily enough, it could be because you have been moving on and that person all of a sudden shows up. Okay, you were making yourself free, you were going on your path, being free from that person, you know, open to new possibilities, and all of a sudden, like that, boom, that person is showing up again on your path. Yeah, you have got here the crown on your head. So this is the power of your thoughts. It's having a clear plan. It's being aware of your worth. So you have to put that first and foremost. Is that person bringing you something that is valuable to you, or is he profiting from you, you know, and profiting from your energy, from your thoughts, from your wisdom, because you're a smart person, and you know, you're kind of open, but don't be open to all kinds of BS that this person could have, you know, because that person has a history and you are very well aware of that. So you're no fool here. Either that person treats you like a queen or a king, or that person is out, okay? Because that person seems to be a little bit careless and acting a little bit like a jester, and you want someone who is totally honest with you. So the advice here, okay, you don't want no fool, okay? You want someone who says what he means and mean what he says. You want someone who can build something with you. And that person is willing to show up, but is it in order to have just good times and then go away? Or is it because that person has, you know, a real life plan? And what does that person propose to you? Okay? So, let's see. Okay, I'm going to see that. So it definitely could be someone showing up again in your life, because that person knows that now you're with someone, okay? And just when you were investing your energy in a new relationship, that person is showing up at your doorstep, you know, in order to see if there is a chance again. So, could be more about love here, okay? So, let's see that. Okay, yeah. This is departure. So, there is a change in life here. There is moving on. It could have been you moving on from that relationship, and you were about to move. And that person sensed that your energy is changing, and so that person is going to try to get back, just as you were making plans for another life. Or you already have moved on, and now that you are building something new, that person is suddenly coming back, okay? But there is a change in life. That could be a possibility, okay? Someone is going away here. So it could be for a situation. Yes, a lot of moving on. This is healing and moving on, okay? This is a possible relocation. Either you or that person of the past has been relocating. Okay, we've got several cards here. Now that you're at peace, okay, that person is trying to sneak its way again into your life. This is the Woman card. So, this person is like the worm inside of the apple. This is someone who likes to know information. You are now at peace with that person. It's like that was some time ago, and you know, it's a little bit on and off, because that person did you a lot of wrong, and you know, that person knows how to hurt you, how to say also good things, and you know, it's all a mixed bag. And you don't want, where you're at now in your life, you don't want your peace to be disturbed, because you've been working a lot on that inner peace. You fought for it, and that person was not mature, was not relationship material, was not reliable. But that person doesn't want you to have a life of your own, to be happy or something. That person wants to get back here. And I think that for some of you, you are already moving on from that and having a new relationship. Okay. You've been doing, as I said, a lot of healing. Okay. Now there is peace. There is a home. There is healing going on. that person was not, you know, reliable. They were always up and down in his or her emotion. Could move on very quickly from being charming to being, you know, full of anger or anxiety, unleashing on you, a lot of changing. That person has probably a commitment problem. You know, it's always moving on to the next thing. Seems to me that this person never really finished anything. It's like going from one place to another and not build things. You know, it's always making a little bit of something and then moving on, because that person was not able to really build something, doesn't have the potential for it, doesn't follow through. Okay, this person is following through. So if that person doesn't give you any proof that now he's building, to me it's out. And to me this could be two people, two different people in your life. One that is very stable, that says, I'm doing this, and that is following through. And this person has always plans and project, but it's going all over the place. Could be very pleasant at first, because you feel like this person is very energetic and, you know, has always kinds of plan, but it's like being castle on the sands and not being very grounded. Okay, that person was changing all the time. And that was the subject of many disputes between the two of you. You were at war with that person at one point. And this person has probably been in a lot of trouble, whether it comes to work and money. That person is always making big jolly plans, but it doesn't mount up to anything, and has a lot of history here of people not being happy with his work, with his commitment. This person has been through a lot of trials and tribulation, because he goes in life without carrying any responsibilities for his act, but there are consequences. So there are a lot of people who are, you know, who knows the truth about that person. That person could deal with a lot of charm in a way. He could get away with a lot of things younger. But, you know, as he was going on his path, people know about him. And so he has no choice but to always be going to another place, because he has no choice. Once people know how he acts, people are saying he's not reliable. He's always speaking and selling stuff with words, telling his grand stories. But when you look at the results, there is none. So he has been through a lot of trouble. Yeah, this is hazard. So trials and tribulation, always changing. And you know, that person now, he used to be like that. The ball was always rolling. But now, being stuck. Okay, and that is why that person, you blocked that person possibly, but that person now wants to see if can come back. To me, you are in such a good place right now that you don't want to hear any of that silly story that this person is going to bring you, because you can see that person through. It's not like he can tell you a lie and gets you to believe in it, because you know better. You know that this person has been the source of many trouble in your life. And now that you are at peace, you know why this person wants to go back into your life, to have a piece of your peace. Okay? So this is being renowned, being known for something. So you know about that person. And you are with someone very much more reliant here. So let's see. We are going to take one of these cards. Okay. You could have had a very strong bond with that person. And it was such a long time ago that it feels like a past life. But the strong bond with that person is that you knew each other like for several lifetimes. Sorry. So, past life. To you, you have changed so much that it is impossible to get back at this person. So, the snake here being the sign for a relationship that was very much based on physical attraction. So, there were lots of trouble with that. That person could have actually been someone who he's trying to break your couple, to break your relationship, to see if you could make one step away from the relationship that you are having here right now and see if, you can have one last time or something, like a booty call. Beware of that. This is what the person really has in mind. Okay. That person was also very possessive and very jealous. So on the outside, that person seems to be very carefree, could be at one point in his life been very popular because he knew how to sell his stuff. I think that's changed a lot. That person is more like, yeah, people have realized that I was selling them stories and not being very fair about stuff. But when it comes to his private life, this is someone who could be very jealous and possessive and, kind of wanted to, make you a prisoner of some kind. But the relationship that you had, you thought it was love, but it was based on pleasure. That person knew how to please you in that way, physical way. But now you're in a much better place. So there was a lot of temptation still that could be involved here. Okay. That person actually blocked you in a lot of ways. While your energy was attached to that person, you could never access to peace and fulfillment in your life. And you know that this hasn't changed. Despite the physical relationship that you had with him, you could never be content in your life because there was always something going wrong, because that person has a mind that is changing very quickly, so it's up and down. It's like a wheel that is turning. It could have a lot of anxiety problem. It could have a lot of baggage, doesn't know how to commit. And so it's like you're always hoping something from that person, something that never comes. So you're never accessing peace with that person. And now it's like you have built your own peace and you want to block any enemies that are coming in. So you are so much wiser now, and that person is actually not aware, that you know them so well that they won't be able to sneak in again. But you know that this person is thinking about you. You know that this person has been making quite a few moves in his life, but never could move out of your energy. He's still lusting for you, thinking about you. You could probably be the one that got away. He could fool everyone but you. You are not on the same level with that person. And he knows, because you are, another kind here. So we have choice, paper, and temptation. Okay, temptation. So we had lust, so it's coming back again. So that person could try to send you a message here, trying to get back at you and offering you, a chance to get back. But I don't sense that you want to have anything to do with it. That person could be moving, changing location, and before he make that big change, he would send you a message. This is a proposition, but tread carefully, because that person, I don't think, has changed. So you have to know that this person is not reliable. Okay, you still are in need to heal somewhat. Probably that person wants maybe forgiveness or something. He wants that, but he won't be able to put that into words. But he knows that he has been, this is the karmic card. You were trying to heal him in the past because you understood that person. You wanted that person to be better in his mind, you know, in his health, in his life in overall, because that person was a whole lot of bag of troubles. And that person needs that energy that you were caring about him. And that's what that person wants. That person wants to go back to the source that you are. But that person, I don't think, you know, has been putting in the work. It's like that person is expecting you to cure him, you know. So he could come back and say something like, you're the only one who gets me. You're the only one who could heal me. And that's been very important in your past relationship, because you felt that you could heal that person, but that person was not putting in the work into that. Okay. Okay. So, sacrifice. You felt like you sacrificed a lot for that person. And there is no use. That person has to put the work himself. If you go back with that person, you are putting your peace, your lifestyle, your plans, your goals, what you have built, everything will be put at risk again. That story could be about, you know, twin flame, but he's a very tortured soul. Okay. Okay, so this is the end card. Okay, and at the back we've got mistake. To me, that person still is trying to get back, or to give an explanation, or to know where you're at in life, trying to sneak in information. You could receive a message, but that person is trying, maybe through social networking and everything, to know exactly where you're at in life. But to me, you just deeply know that this person is not good, and you know that this is the end, and that it would be a mistake to put everything that you have been building with a new person or a potential new person. Okay, that person is going to try to put some doubts in your mind. Okay, so the energy here, that person knows how to trick himself or herself into your life again. Don't be a fool here. You are so much more intelligent, smarter now than you used to be. There were a lot of sacrifices. You tried to heal that person, but that person is definitely not good for you. Some work has been done, but it is always like a wheel turning with that person. A lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, you know, a lot of lies, possibly a lot of possessivity as well. So it's not reliable. And this is not the energy that you need from a person in order to build something valuable for your life. So you know down deep inside that giving back another chance to that person would be a mistake. So of course you have the choice, okay? But there are lots at stakes here, and that you're putting into the scale. There is your peace, there is your new life. And on the other hand, you know that this is going to be like another cycle that is starting again and again and again. So it's like you're putting everything and saying, no, full stop now. You could leave his message on read and not even reply, because that would be a mistake. Okay? So I hope this resonates, and please comment, share, like, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow with another reading, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.